Pierce and William in the morning podcast. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. It's close enough.
Yeah.
5, 6. What's the difference, really?
1.
Welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast, guys. We love the reception that you guys gave us on episode 2, and we're hoping to make it even better than episode 2. Hello to the video watchers. We love you. And hello to the audio listeners. We hate you. Sorry.
Because you can't see my cowboy hat.
Yeah, Pierce is wearing a cowboy hat, but only the video watchers can actually verify that. So we know it's been a while.
Losers.
We know it's been a we know it's been a while since the last podcast, right, Pierce?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, instead of recording on Friday, someone wanted to go to someone's grandmother's house 40 minutes away so I could get my toes bloody. So there's that.
Okay, out of context, that sounds really dumb, but it was pretty fun. Shout out to Patrick Max for having us over at his grandma's house.
Yeah, thanks for dunking on me.
Yeah, well, you're the freaking Adonis that was making everyone's feet bloody because you want to steal the ball from everyone.
I don't know what Adonis means.
It means, like, a really swell dude.
Swell?
Yeah.
Or swole?
Swell and swell.
Huh.
So, sweel. Oh, my God. All right, so what do we want to start off with today? We want to start with the movie that you didn't watch that I want to review?
I watched 20 minutes of it, at least.
So you're probably the most, like, you have the best opinion probably out of the two of us. So what'd you think about it? We're talking about Spider-Man Far From Home, by the way.
So, Fishbowl guy, right? he's cool. I've only seen the first part where, there's all the, I could say this part. It's really early.
Okay, wait, yeah. Well, let's not get into spoilers first. Let's do a spoiler-free review, and then we'll do, like, spoiler talk.
Like, it's in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's still, for people who haven't seen it, they don't want to know.
All right, fine, I will. All right, so the dynamic of Spider-Man now that, like, can I spoil the other movies before
No.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If they haven't seen those movies, that's their fault.
Yeah, shame on you.
Shame on you guys for not watching the past Spider-Man movies. Have you seen Tom Holland?
Maybe not even Spider-Man, maybe Endgame.
Oh, well. Yeah, that would suck, too. Well, I haven't seen Endgame. That's an amazing movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
right.
Debatable, but...
So I'm gonna spoil that.
All right, go for it.
Because I need to... Okay, so...
Yeah, we're talking about Endgame. So if you don't want to, skip ahead. Big
Okay.
spoiler alert.
So I like the dynamic of how Spider-Man is now like the only superhero in this specific city because Iron Man used to be there, but
Yeah.
Iron Man, you know what I mean? He made the snap. So and he died. So I like how everybody's like depending on him a lot more. I
that's
like
fair.
That. I like that kind of.
It was a cool concept seeing about how everyone thinks that he's going to be the new Spider-Man and new Iron Man and how he's trying to deal with that. That was a fun thing. And I like how the big contrast from Spider-Man Homecoming was like, you're under the radar still. Like, it's just, that's why I loved Spider-Man Homecoming because it was so, like, not on Avengers level, but still really good for, like, Spider-Man to go up against him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, like, something where you would need to call in Hulk or Thor. And then the villain in this movie, specifically wants it to be an Avengers level threat, so you know that Spider-Man's gonna have to take on something that he's not really capable of doing yet, and it makes sense why Nick Fury. Well, actually, Nick Fury in this movie, I know you didn't see him really, but he was not like I didn't like him in this movie.
I feel
he
like
was
with their more recent movies, they're just kind of like dulling him down.
The thing
like,
is,
wait. In the Captain Marvel movie, like
I didn't even watch Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but like I heard that like I think it was either Captain Marvel or something else where like we learn how he got the scar on his eye.
Yeah, it was a cat. Scratched him in the eye. When he was like,
that's I mean, like the whole thing
in Infinity,
like, it's a mystery on how his eye got like that. Like,
it was so dumb.
Like, no, it's a cat.
Because in Winter Soldier, he was like, "Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." Well, it was a fucking cat.
It's just they make him so uncool in the more recent movies.
And then in Homecoming, in Far From Home, he's just like so mean. He's unnecessarily rude to everyone in this movie. I mean, I guess
get ghosted.
Yeah,
like,
and he's pissed off that he doesn't know anything, And he's like, that's like his whole thing in the movie is that like I lost 5 years and now I don't know anything and now he's just mean to everyone and it was like, oh well, that's not very nice. But then Jake Gyllenhaal is his character was great and his acting is always just superb. So I loved that factor of it. And him and Spider-Man's relationship was great. There was just some things like
I didn't
nitpicking that I didn't like about it. That was like, without getting into spoilers, they were talking about when everyone comes, well, spoiler for Endgame, when everyone comes back from the snap, there was like a funny shot of
The
like,
blip,
yeah,
actually.
when the, oh, sorry. When
See, I know more about the movie than Will does.
when the blip happened, they all came back to where they were, and like so like they showed a shot of them in a basketball game, and then when they get blipped in, like the marching bands, they're like practicing.
Yeah, I like that.
But what about people that were on a ship? What about people that were on a plane? Do they just fall to their death and drown? Like, what happened with that? And we were talking about this. What if you were sitting watching a movie, you blip out, or you dust out, and then you come back, but another movie's playing and someone's sitting in the seat that you were sitting in? Would you, like, morph into them? Or
I feel like you would, like... No, I feel like you would, like, spawn on top.
But the whole thing was they come back exactly where they left off. Without seeing it. So, like, everyone in a plane would be like, and then start falling.
They're too far into this rabbit hole to, like,
They can't.
show all these
They
different
should have
things.
just, like, I don't know. They needed to tie that up.
I prefer them to just not bring it up over them, like, creating some dumb excuse for it, though.
Yeah,
like,
but
keep
then
it
they.
as, like, what it is and show what the funny part is. The little goofs, like, oh, the marching band get hit with basketball guy.
Well, why didn't they do it just like everyone blip back in their house? Or something like that. Everyone
they didn't die there.
But that's the thing. They could have tied up all those loose ends if they were just like, oh, then everyone magically like was just back in their home. Because no one knows how it works.
I feel like the Infinity Gauntlet could do that too. Right?
Exactly. So
yeah. that would
they
make
could
more
have just
sense.
done that instead of just being like everyone.
But they want to pump out movies, man. It's Disney. It's Disney now. They own over 20% of all film.
They do?
Yes.
I know they own a lot, but I thought it was more than that, man.
I said over 20%. It could be anything from 20 to 99%, honestly. Because we own some film.
Oh yeah, well, they don't own us. Fuck Disney. I got
Hot takes.
hot takes. My parents watched the podcast over our vacation.
Oh yeah.
And they liked it. And they said that they liked how you didn't swear, and they did not like how I constantly swear on there.
Well, I'm worried that my mom's gonna see this, so I don't want her to see me swear.
I honestly didn't think that my parents were gonna, and they're probably watching this right now. So shout out to mom and dad. I love you
probably
guys.
listening,
And
they're upstairs.
Yeah. Oh well.
In our studio apartment.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They came over for dinner in our studio apartment that we rented out. That's just us.
Yes.
And sometimes our guests if we want them, but definitely not my basement, and definitely not just a wall.
Yeah.
So can we get into spoiler talk, because I have some things that I want to. Okay, well, I'm just going to say before we get into spoiler talk, I thought that Spider-Man Far From Home was a solid movie, even though there was some nitpicks and some like stuff I didn't like. Some of the comedy did fall flat for me. I think that Homecoming definitely had like funnier comedy in my opinion. I just thought that a lot of the jokes sometimes were like
Dying
cringy.
to Share is classic. You can't beat it.
That was funny. And I feel like some
like
of
when the teacher comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Watching porn."
that's hilarious, and it's pretty good high school comedy. But some of the stuff that I saw in Far From Home was just like so blatantly obvious what the joke was gonna be, and then it happened, and then like some of it just kind of fell flat for me, and I didn't like it. But there was some really good.
Ned.
Yeah,
Ned was girl.
Ned was solid.
Ned got a girl.
And then, other than that, I think that Jake Gyllenhaal was super strong. I liked his character. And then I liked how they incorporated him.
But if Green Lantern
was actually cool,
and
not a complete CGI suit for some reason,
and had a fishbowl on his head.
Yeah,
that's my take on him.
You liked him, but you just didn't like the fishbowl?
Yeah, no, like it just looks weird.
It looked kind of stupid, but that's his. In the comics, that's what he looks like.
I don't like that.
All right, I think. Well, without spoilers, I give Spider-Man: Homecoming a solid 6 out of 10, probably. Yeah, that's not probably closer, maybe closer to a 7. I don't think it's just a 5. Probably, I think a 6 is probably a solid score.
Yeah. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but no big wheels, so it goes down
No
to
big
4.
wheel.
No big wheel.
But
Come on,
now,
you can't have a Spider-Man movie without the big wheel.
but now I want to get into spoiler talk
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's fun. So, the stuff that
Someone
I didn't
let you
like.
take the reins now. I'm just gonna sit back.
Yeah, you're gonna sit back and listen to me talk because you decided not to watch it because 12 o'clock is too late to start a movie for some reason.
Keep going.
But the main thing that I didn't like was the obvious twist. And I did read the comics and I know that Mysterio is a villain, but it was just so obvious that they were going to use this new guy as a villain for me. And while I was watching it, while they were like hamming up Peter and his relationship, which I loved their chemistry because they obviously had a lot of off-screen chemistry, so it definitely showed on-screen. And I really liked the new father-son dynamic that they were trying to get for after Tony Stark died, and it was great. But I knew that they were going to just turn him into a villain, and then they did, and I was just like, oh, that sucked. Like I could see it from a mile away. But the one thing I love about Homecoming is the twist. Have you seen Homecoming?
Yes.
The twist where you find out that the main villain is his love interest's dad, that was perfect. I did not see that come. Like, I can usually, like, kind of feel out what's going to happen, especially in a Marvel movie, but I had no idea that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love Spider-Man Homecoming. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that, not expecting something is so much better than being able to see it a mile away. And that's what really killed me for it. And I thought Mysterio is obviously in the comics. He just uses like smoke and mirrors, and like it's not as intense as like it was in the movie. But
You think that in the comics it'd be more intense.
Exactly.
Like,
But in the
is
comics,
rant.
he's literally just like a guy that spreads rumors and uses mirrors. Like, but what I didn't like about his character is the way like some of that tech they were using was just too far fetched for me. And there's this one scene where Spiderman goes into like this huge. He goes into like this fever dream, and like it's because his illusion tech is supposed to only be able to change his surroundings and like affect his surroundings, but it's not. It was affecting Peter and like his shooters and the clothing he was wearing, and he was in like this huge fever dream where he didn't know what was real or not, and that was just like too out there for me. Like I would have understood if maybe he took like LSD or if he like slipped him a drug, but no way he's doing that with holograms. Like he was changing Peter's clothing and like shooting him, and then he went to go shoot his web shooters and it was just mist. Like you can't affect what's on his body with the projector. And that's where it just kind of lost me because I was watching the scene and it was super cool and it was really like interesting how they shot and everything. One thing that they definitely did improve on was the cinematography. His Spider-Man Homecoming, its worst part is probably its cinematography and how just bland it is. Just like the Marvel, like talking to someone 2-shot, or like it'll do just a 2-shot, or we'll just do over the shoulder. It's pretty simple, but they actually did do some cool camera stuff, especially with Spider-Man when he's swinging. And so that's what I really liked about it, especially in the fever dream sequence. It was really cool. They did some cool artistic stuff, like with Doctor Strange, but it was too far fetched for me to believe that all that was happening with projectors, and that's what got me. Especially, it really took me out of the scene. And then there's this other scene that's really funny where Peter calls a drone strike on his. He wants to get this picture off his phone, and so one of the things is that Tony Stark gives Peter his glasses that he always wears, and you find out that they have like augmented reality technology, and like now Peter has the reins to everything and like all like this Stark technology. So he accidentally calls a drone strike on his schoolmate trying to get this picture off his phone, and it's like about to shoot him, and like Peter does this whole thing, he gets it off, and like nothing happens. But then Nick Fury talks about how he knows that a drone was released from their like shipment yard or whatever in space. But then Mysterio uses like 300 drones to make his whole projector thing. So how did Nick Fury not know about all those drones being released and where they're going if he knew about the one that Peter did? Like, I just don't get, like, how did that's another.
Maybe because he did it, like, through Stark's, like, glasses.
No, yeah, they both did.
Oh, they both
Yeah,
did?
they both
Yeah,
used.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you didn't freaking watch it. See, I was going to.
Watch it.
I was about to say the F word, but I remembered. I love my mom, so. But, yeah, there's just, like, some nitpicks like that I just. I mean, I had a really fun time, and I didn't really think about it too much. But then after the fact, I was kind of thinking about the nitpicks, which is good that they definitely held my attention. It was a fun movie, but there was just some things like that definitely take it down a notch. But then, oh my god, the end credits scene is so good.
I heard that there were like two different.
There's
separate,
two.
like,
There's
things.
two. The end credits after like all the credits kind of sucked. I didn't really give a shit. But the one right after, oh my god, I'm just gonna spoil it right now because we said spoiler talk. But actually, no, I'm not. That's a huge one. I'm not gonna kid it. But J. Jonah Jameson makes another comeback, and J.K. Simmons is playing him. And I was freaking. Have you seen the original Spider-Man movies?
I mean, like I've seen them. I don't remember them too well.
Easily the best part of those movies was J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. He's freaking hilarious, and he came back as a cameo as like a podcast guy, like a
Podcast guy.
Yeah, like us. But he was like, what's that one? What's that place where like they're gonna turn the freaking frogs gay?
Infowars.
Yeah, it's like an Infowars type thing, and it's like a the Daily Bugle is like controversial and stuff, and they say that it's hilarious, and it had me dying. But if anyone is listening to this, like not the spoiler, if you're listening to the spoilers and you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. It's a great Marvel movie and it's a great Spider-Man movie. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
If we're on the topic of Spider-Man, there is a Spider-Man movie that came out after Homecoming that I've seen. Now with Peter Parker.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I really like that movie.
What'd you think about that?
I
Is
thought
this
it
gonna be
was-
Pierce's Netflix movie review of the week?
Sure.
All right, go for it. I'll do mine after.
So Into the Spider-Verse, I think is a really, really good movie.
Oh yeah.
I think
it's a great
amazing.
movie.
The different characters, like the different, like every single different spider person.
Oh
right?
yeah.
You know, you got the, they're iconic. They're iconic. Spider Pig, voiced by
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
It's great. It's so good.
He's amazing. And then there's the like the noir.
Yeah,
guy.
who's your favorite Spider-Man out of that movie?
That's tough. I'm gonna go with the out of shape Peter Parker.
Peter B. Parker.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
he
that
was
guy.
great.
He's
Easy
amazing.
hands down, my favorite was Spider Noir with Nick Cage
Oh, he was
voicing
really
him,
good.
where he's like, he's like, the wind follows me wherever I go. Dude, we're in a basement. He's like, no, when he's doing his flashback, he's like, I let matches burn down to my fingers just so I can feel something. It's so funny. And I'd be like on
Oh, and
the
then
floor.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, and he was like, is this purple? No. He's like, I'm going to figure out this cube, whatever it may be. It's so good. That movie, the animation, I give that movie a solid.
The animation is flawless.
It's so good. It's so good.
Just the one scene where the Spider Noir, he was like fighting that one guy like while they were like in the big fight.
Uh-huh.
There was the one specific villain he was fighting.
Yeah.
Just that one sequence is astounding.
Yeah.
If
And
you see
they do all that cool stuff where they do the pop art, but they do it from their universe. So like when the Noir was fighting, it was going black and white, and it was like coming in and out. It's so cool.
It's amazing.
Because I watched the thing with the animators that talked about how they animated, and you know the scene where it's Peter B. Parker and we're getting into spoiler territory kind of. It's Peter B. Parker and Miles Morales, and they're doing their swinging, and he's like, where like Miles needs to learn how to swing for the first time.
Yeah.
And they usually, this is gonna get technical, when they animate a movie, they usually animate it at 24 frames per second. But the animators had Peter B. Parker moving at 24 frames per second, but Miles Morales moving at 14 frames per second. So you could visibly see that Peter B. Parker was more smooth and more more agile, while Miles Morales was literally and technically moving slower and moving more jittery and being less like trained. But then as Peter B. Parker keeps teaching Miles, and he keeps getting better and he keeps using it, he gets up to and then finally when they're swinging together in unison and they're like talking to each other and they're all happy and stuff, and it's like this great moment, they're swinging both at 24 frames per second, and it's like this perfect moment of like subtlety, and it's like coming together, and just him. Is that a fly?
Yeah. In our studio
In
apartment.
our studio apartment, there's a fly.
We left the window open.
Yeah, I guess so. But like just
Like little subtleties like that.
yeah, it's in all of the animation is perfect. It's honestly revolutionary what they did with the animation. It's something that no one has seriously done before in a long, long time, and it's so stylistic, so cool. The chemistry between Peter B. Parker and Miles Morales is so great, and I like the ending. I don't want to spoil anything too big, but I love how they gave Miles this like perfect role model in Peter Parker in his universe, and then it was gonna be like this. You thought it was gonna be this awesome like Peter Parker's gonna teach him the ropes, and then they just completely take him away.
Yeah.
And you're left wondering, okay, where is this gonna go now? He doesn't have anyone like to help him. Where is it gonna go? And it's the thing that you wouldn't see coming, that they're gonna kill one of the main characters in the first like 20 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
But I do like how after every like spider person they introduce, they're like, all right, last time.
Yeah, and they do like the comic book intro. It's so stylistic, so cool.
One thing that I don't understand about it, which I should probably like read the comics to understand,
what's
though,
up?
is like, how did Miles get the power to like shock people and go invisible?
That was in the. It's a really small detail, like when it has to do with the specific spider that he got. So if you look at the spider when it's about to shock him, it's jumping from paint can to paint can, and it has that ability to change color with the paint can that he's on. It's a really cool small detail that not a lot of people saw. And like so it depends on which, you can see whichever paint can the spider's crawling on, it'll change to that color. And then it also had the blue legs for like the electricity.
I thought that was just a stylistic choice.
No, it was foreshadowing like what's gonna happen.
Huh.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like they really thought out this movie.
I like the climax of it. Not the climax during the big fight, but like the turning point in the movie. Where his dad's
that
outside
is
the door.
absolutely freaking beautiful. I seriously think that it's probably one of the best Spider-Man movies. It's up there. It's better, in my opinion. It's even better than Homecoming. It's probably up there with Tobey Maguire, in my opinion, and Sam Raimi. Like the point where he is on the roof and he has to just hone all of his abilities to save it. Like it had me like jaw on the floor. Amazing animation, beautiful cinematography for animation. They did so much cool stuff, and the music. It all swells. There's so much, even behind just the music. There's all these musical motifs of. There was this thing with, if I get this right, every single time one of the spider people was on screen, they would do this music swell. And then every single time that Miles was on scene, he would get a different like tone, and it would shift. And it wasn't really noticeable, but you could hear it. And every single time it was like this triumphant. Every single time that the spider person was on, it would be like, it was like just like a dun 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 dun. And then so that was like, you kind of, it ingrains in your mind that every single time there's a spider person, you're gonna hear that you're gonna hear that musical theme. And then so finally, when Miles is able to use his abilities on command and is like honing his abilities, swinging throughout New York, you hear that theme combined with the hip hop aspect of his home, and it's just this ultimate, just like culmination of everything that you've heard throughout the movie, and it's super triumphant, super awesome, and it's just you're just so happy for him, and like. They really make a likable character by combining stuff that's like real world today that you can relate to, and also some classic stuff from the comics. And it's really, really cool how I could go on all day about it.
One thing that I really want to say about Spider-Verse was how when they first get into the basement and he first gets into the basement, he's looking at all the different suits.
Uh-huh.
And he's looking at that one suit, and his head is like over by the chest area.
Oh yeah.
Then when he comes
he's literally
back, and his head is in
he's
the same
literally
spot.
looking up to Spider-Man, and now when he comes back, he's
like
he's at the same level. Yep.
Yeah, and then he
perfect.
spray painted it.
He made it, and then he made it his own.
Of where he spray paints everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
it's perfect. It's such a good movie. It definitely deserved the Oscar that it won for best animated.
When Peter B. Parker's like, no, I'm gonna turn it off or something.
Yeah.
And he's like,
oh my god. Yeah, and in the best part,
he tripped him.
It's perfect reincorporation. And honestly, I'll say it on here. I'm not ashamed. It was a tearjerker for me when he's holding Peter, when he's holding the other Spider-Man, and he just the whole time he said that he wants to sacrifice himself for his friends, but he's actually just scared to go back because he doesn't want to mess everything up again. Mm-hmm. That hit me so hard, and it was so oh my god, when he was just like, when he's falling and he's just so happy just to be like. just to be, how just he was so happy just to have that child and just like to help Miles and like to have be that role model for someone after losing so much stuff in his universe
Yeah.
to just have like to be able to help someone like really help Miles, and that just made him happy. It was, oh my god, it was so good.
And then when like in the first part of the movie when like Miles is trying to hone his powers and then he's like like Peter's like, oh, he can go invisible. He's like, go invisible, and he's like,
He's
he
like,
tends to be like, I can't do it on command.
He can't do it on command. All right, shock me again. I can't do that either. He can't do that either. What else can he do? Those two things. He can only do those two things. It's so good. It's such on the nose writing. Oh my god, it's so good. So what do you give that? What's Pierce's movie review?
I give that at least 8 out of 10. I mean, I think it's a 9 out of 10 personally. I love that movie. I'm a sucker for like the comic style animation.
Oh yeah, awesome.
And not that many movies do it right.
Oh
either.
no,
I've seen just the Spider-Verse movie do it right.
Yeah, especially with animation.
Yeah.
But one thing I really like about Sam Raimi's trilogy is because he made a really good comic book movie, and he had the same style without the animation really. But his whole trilogy with Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, which in my opinion is one of the best sequels to ever be made. He had this
not the best sequel ever. Shrek 2 is good.
Oh my, shut up.
It was the best sequel ever.
That's
in terms of
I'm
different
not
things that
even
a
no, we're
sequel
not
should
even
do,
getting
Shrek
into
2
this.
is the best
No,
sequel
it's
ever made.
not.
It's a perfect sequel.
Okay.
It's a perfect sequel.
Please give me your quick thoughts on why that is a perfect sequel.
All right, so a couple things that a sequel should establish is it should build upon the world building that the first movie already did. Shrek 2 did that. Okay.
Sure.
It should continue the storyline. Shrek 2 did that. It should be an overall good movie. It doesn't have to be a perfect movie in itself, but it should be a good sequel to have those two bare minimum, right? And then introduce new things into the storyline. It did that, okay?
I can't get past that. We're talking about Shrek 2.
And it has possibly one of, if not the best 3D animated scene at the end.
Though I Need a Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a flawless scene. Every single like bit of that song goes with some of the animation.
That's true.
It's an amazing sequence.
Fair.
That's what I'm talking. It's a perfect sequel.
Okay. I
not saying
honestly
it's a
haven't
perfect
seen
movie.
it. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Shrek?
I haven't
2?
seen Shrek 2. I haven't seen it in a long time. I might have seen it once when I was a kid.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
So what do you give Shrek 2?
I give that like a 7 or 8 overall as a movie, but as a sequel, it's a 10 out of 10.
Okay, so Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, what do you give that one?
I mean, really a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, a solid 9 out of 10?
I really like that movie.
I really love that movie. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10, probably closer to a 9, definitely not a 7. Probably like an 8.5.
I mean, like, I think that they could tweak a little bit of things, like, but, like...
There were so many great moments in that movie that easily cancel out the flaws.
But it had to be crunched down to a really small time period.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
You know, the original storyboards for that movie it was supposed to be really dark. Like
I'm glad that they didn't go that direction.
I'm glad that they didn't, but I saw like they animated the original storyboards, and I kind of want to see that movie too, because it looked freaking great. It had the scene where like Peter Parker dies and everything, and it's so much like in the movie he just gets like pounded by Kingpin, but in this one like the collider completely like destroys his face and like it's all like grotesque and it like cuts back. It's like it's crazy. It was so much more darker than what they went for. And I love the direction they went, but I kind of want to see that movie because it was like so raw and like real, and it showed Spider-Man as not like this like superhero, but it showed him as like a person, which they did with Miles, but they did it like way like more raw and like more like artsy and more like artsy smartsy in like the storyboards, and it was more like fun and Into the Spider-Verse.
I like the fun though.
No, it was so. I like the fun too.
Yeah.
It's
superhero
movies
with his uncle. The twist.
I don't know what twist. Don't spoil it for them. Don't spoil it.
And then his uncle was all like,
"Oh,
press the button, Will."
I'm going. I got it.
Okay, cool. So the twist with his uncle, then his uncle's like, "I'm sorry, Miles," and then his dad finds his uncle, and he's like, "Spider-Man," and then his dad
Oh,
is
yeah,
like,
that
"Oh,
was great.
Spider-Man's cool now," and then at the end where he's like, "Oh,
Well, no, he thought
take
Spider-Man
care,
was
citizen," or
bad
something.
because he thought Spider-Man killed his uncle.
Yeah, no, that's
Or
what he said. He's like,
killed his
"Oh,
brother.
oh," he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but then
you,
he-
Spider-Man," and then he sees Spider-Man do
But
the
then
cool
they
thing.
reconciled in the end.
I mean, like,
Perfect.
his
It's
dad
awesome.
was like, "Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to hold a candle to this guy. He's doing a good thing right
yeah.
here." So then he's like, "Come on, Spider-Man, you can
Oh,
do
yeah,
it."
that was great.
That was really
That
good.
was awesome. It's
That
just
was
so
really
many,
good.
so many heartwarming moments in that movie between Peter B. Parker and Miles, which is like one of the best relationships that I think rivals Tony Stark and Tony Stark and Spider-Man. Honestly,
Yeah, I think so too. Because like
their
they were a lot more
relationship is
personable.
perfect.
They were a lot more personal.
It was a lot.
Iron
Yeah,
Man,
definitely.
Iron Man is. I mean, he needed proof that he had a heart.
Yeah.
Peter
So
B. Parker
that's-
doesn't.
Peter B. Parker, you know from the get-go.
When
That was
he's
so.
eating burgers,
When he
you're like,
shows up
"Mm."
and he's like, "Do you have money? I don't have a lot right now. Can you pay for this?" He was just such a loser in the beginning, and you were like, "Oh my god, really?"
Yeah, I can relate.
He's really a true hero that we can all relate to.
Yes.
All right, so that was Pierce's movie review of the week. Comment if you want to see more of that because I loved it. But now we're gonna talk about movies for one more second because it's Will's movie review of the week. Also, both of these movies are on Netflix, by the way.
Yeah.
So I've watched a lot of movies in this past on Netflix. I've been trying to really just hone in on Netflix and watch a lot of movies on there because I know that you guys really like it when I review movies that you guys can watch as well. So I think there's a lot I have.
What movie is it?
Well, there's a lot I could say, but I'm trying to decide which one. I put them in a list. I want to decide which one I want to talk about now. I'm going to talk about a TV series
What?
that was recommended to me by none other than Tiff Amayamaya. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. You know who I'm talking about. Texas. It's Texas Girl
Tiffany.
V2. Her name is Tiffany. And she gave me the amazing recommendation of watching this show called The Umbrella Academy.
Huh.
And have you seen it?
I've seen it recommended to me on Netflix before. I didn't watch it though.
You should watch it. Because
Okay.
it has some of the greatest dark comedy that I've seen in a while.
And you got to watch Bebop with me.
I found it.
Are you?
Yeah.
You found it?
Yeah, I found it. We'll get into that later. Because that's illegal. We can't talk about that.
I mean, I could bring the DVD set over.
Yes, we'll do that. For the audio listeners, I winked at Piers.
And
But-
I just pointed to my FBI agent, Kevin, over there.
Kevin, my dad.
Kevin K. Kevin.
Oh,
Not your dad. Sorry.
oh. Is he ready for the Area 51 raid, or are you gonna?
I don't like that meme.
You don't?
I
What?
mean, like, I think it's like a neat thing, but then it's like over like was it like 30,000 people signed that petition, or maybe
There was over
300,000?
400,000 people
Yeah,
in the
I
Facebook
don't.
group.
It's
That would be freaking amazing. What are you
it'd be
talking
cool
about?
to see. It'd be cool to
If
see
someone-
just like U.S. soldiers who like standing outside some barbed wire fence and having like people Naruto
Yeah,
run into them
Naruto
and just-
runners. Oh my god.
done.
Yeah, but
It'd be
there's.
funny to
I
see
read
the
this thing
recordings,
that
but,
it
like, I
was
don't
like,
wanna-
because now there's over 1 million people on it. That's what it said. And there was this thing where it was like Area 51. Air Force responds to Area 51, 1 million like people, and it was like, we will mow you down. Do not try. That's scary as fuck. That's terrifying.
They don't want us to see them
They
aliens.
don't want us to see them aliens. There is some those memes are so funny. When
I
it
mean,
was like a guy kissing an alien, and it was like, when I go into Area 51 and find out that the alien shotties are way more real than the ones on Earth.
I mean, I like those petition things and like the schedule things. Like, oh, let's go do this on this time, like on this like day. But I mean, this was a while ago, but like it was like steal all the water from the lakes in Minnesota, replace all the water with fake water the day before they steal the water. It's like, I like those ones.
Change.org positions are so stupid because they don't do anything. So I love it when people just make them dumb
Yeah.
because they have no impact on anything.
It's like a GoFundMe, like potato salad. They gave him like over $100,000 or something
It's so
for
funny. to me.
$5 potato
Because
salad.
what is the government really gonna do? Like, oh, 50,000 people signed this piece of paper. Like, who cares? Like, they're not gonna change anything.
They're gonna mow them down.
That would
It's gonna be
imagine going there and then thinking you're gonna win, and then seeing like a bunch of like Air Force One like fighter jets
gonna
just
be
like
like
mowing people down.
it's gonna be the second version of the thing that never happened in China. That never happened.
What do you mean? Oh,
Tiananmen Square.
yeah, that didn't happen though.
Didn't happen.
Well, on record,
Didn't happen.
didn't happen.
Never
We
happened.
don't talk about that.
The thing that never happened. Let's talk about what never happened.
Yeah, talk about what never happened. I
Those
don't know
those
what to talk
pictures
about.
are doctored, anyways.
All right, let's jump right back. The Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah.
Really freaking good show. It had me hooked from like episode 1. Watched it all on one plane ride. Literally had my jaw dropped in one scene. I'm
How
not going to
many
give any
episodes is it?
spoilers. It's 9, I think. They're like 40-minute episodes. They range from like 40 to 50-minute episodes. Easily doable in a day.
That's a little bit over a third of the Cowboy Bebop episodes. But continue.
That's going to be an ongoing joke for our podcast.
Until you actually
until I
watch
watch
it.
it. And I don't know when that day will be.
Dude, sometime I'm just gonna come over and I'm gonna be like, you have 3 hours, like available. Okay, we're gonna watch.
I actually
at least
did
the
look it
first
up,
2
and it
discs.
got really good ratings from everything.
It's like
It seems like a good show. I will watch it.
it's
We
actually
are not
phenomenal.
getting into this second episode.
Go for it. Keep talking about the Umbrella Academy.
It's a good show.
Yeah, but is it as critically acclaimed as Bebop?
I don't know, but it was
No.
great. There was a moment where it really had my like jaw on the floor. I didn't like what happened after. It was a great thing. I'm not going to spoil it, but there was a point where my jaw was on the floor, and that doesn't happen a lot. So praise for that. The music that they use, the fight scenes are so well choreographed. The music that they use is great. It really rivals like in my opinion, I don't like it as much as End of the well, Mom, I'm going to have to swear cuz it's part of the title. End of the Fucking World on Netflix is also
You could say End of the Bleeping World.
okay, End of the
Bleep.
World is a great show on Netflix, and it's better. It has the same kind of like not really style, but it has the same kind of dark comedy aspect, and there are just so many great, well-written
See you
characters.
skating.
Yeah, you're pretty
Shit.
shit. Fuck off. Classic. But there's a lot of really good, well-written characters, and you really care for them in Umbrella Academy because you can really relate to them. I'll give a little synopsis. It's like all these kids were born on the same day. Like randomly, all these ladies got pregnant one day. They gave birth, and no one knows how they happened. But this guy goes around and collects all of them, and he finds out that each one has a different superpower. But one is just extremely ordinary. She has nothing special about her. And it goes through, in the first episode is you find out that their dad died, and that's how they all get back together, and they all like reconcile. And then one of their lost siblings comes back from the future, and he knows that the world is gonna end, but he doesn't know how. But he knows it's gonna be in 8 days. And the whole thing is them trying to figure out how is the world gonna end. And there's this whole world building with time travel and this whole separate organization that is sent to make sure the timeline doesn't get interrupted. And he's constantly battling them. So many cool things. And if you really want to delve into like, it's great. And if you really have the time, I highly recommend watching it because you will not be disappointed. It's great. And usually time travel in movies, it gets really confusing and really just kind of like sloppy with a lot of movies. Even with like something as like major as Infinity War, time travel is pretty still sloppy in that movie. But they have it really well written, really on the nose in this movie. I mean, in this show, and you never really doubt it for a second. It's all like pretty. It doesn't ever go too far. It's really plausible. All their skills are super like kind of. They're not just like regular. Like, oh, this guy can fly. Oh, this guy can do this. Like they're really like kind of unique. Like this one kid that's I think his name is number 7. Oh yeah, they all don't have names. They're all just like numbers. This one guy, Diego, can throw. Number 7 can throw any object and make it curve any way he wants to.
They don't have names.
Well,
but you
they
call them
gave
Diego.
each other names to like nicknames, but their dad refused to ever call them anything but their numbers.
Huh.
Yeah, spoiler alert, their dad was a freaking asshole, and they all hated him. So
A freaking what hole?
a butthole. A big meanie. But yeah, like there's this one kid who can like throw. There's one guy named Klaus that can like just talk to the dead. That's his superpower. One of them can curve any object he throws. It's awesome stuff. It's really
Sounds a
cool.
lot like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar
Yeah,
Children.
it's like that, but if it was good and like memorable.
I'm reading that book right now
Why?
because I have to.
For summer school, or for
You're
like,
gonna have to
regular-
bleep that out. If you don't bleep that out, I'm actually gonna like beat you up.
Why? What's
actually
the
gonna
big
beat
deal
you up.
about summer school?
I'm actually gonna beat you up if you don't bleep that out.
What?
I swear I'll beat you up. It's not a thing to brag about, Will.
It's not bragging, but everyone
it's
does it.
not a-
Everyone goes through it.
Did you go through it?
Yes, I did. At CC, I'm proud of it. I had to go to summer school. Well, I'm not proud of it, but yeah.
For what? Did you what?
Because I was a little dumb, couldn't read.
The word kept mixed up.
The cat-
Oh, my W changed to A.
I'm freaking Bella Thorne out here. I couldn't read. No, I'm just kidding. But
Hi, my name's Bella Thorne, and I have dyslexia. I couldn't make up the letters B and D. And it's like
it's like
it's like a hieroglyph.
at school, I wasn't like the normal kids.
You should really wash those out,
Yeah.
because now
Yeah. What
there's
are you
like
gonna do?
chocolate cheese at the bottom of them. Because someone who owns this area, I won't say what area it is.
He's talking about the
forgot-
cups, by the way. Our awesome mugs that only the video watchers could see. I hate calling them video watch. Is that real? Is that is it video watchers?
I think what we should call them is real fans.
That's good. Yeah, so the real fans, fuck the audio listeners, would see that.
Whoa! Your mom's gonna.
Oh shit! I didn't.
Oh,
Shoot.
darn!
Mom, I love you. I'm sorry.
Rat!
Nart.
Flippin' heck.
All right, so back to summer school.
Wait a second. Why is heck like such a tame word when it's a combination
heck.
of two bad words?
What's it the combination of?
The F word and hell.
Word the heck? Oh yeah, true. But
Heck?
it's tame.
How is it tame when it's a combination between these two bad words?
Well, you could combine any two bad words.
Yo, if you think about it,
Like, wait, watch this.
everything
You
is
can
birthday
combine.
cake flavor.
You could combine like ass and shit.
Whoa.
At. If I said at, you wouldn't be offended.
I'm gonna be offended now.
Shit. But no, I had to go to summer
You
school at
at.
CC
Well, I don't know.
for writing and for reading because I was a little dumb. It's okay. We can get through it. You didn't even tell me. What are you going to summer school for?
Language arts, American literature.
See, we did the same exact thing.
American literature?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes,
So you
I had
did
to
Great
read
Gatsby
To
and
Kill a
stuff?
Mockingbird, and
Oh,
I had
To
to
Kill a
read
Mockingbird.
like all these dumb books. Well, no, actually, To Kill a Mockingbird is a great book in my opinion. By the way,
Yeah.
actually really enjoyed that one.
It's good commentary on a difficult problem.
What's
big words? I ate head.
what's the difficult problem, Pierce? Please elaborate.
You know, false accusations of rape. It's a touchy subject. It's a difficult topic. It's hard to really get a good It's hard to get a good rule on that kind of thing. Like, it's hard to put a blanket over it and be like, oh yeah, this is what we should do in these scenarios, because it's really intricate. It's a big gray area. So
It really
it's a good
is.
commentary
It's
on
an
it.
amazing book, and I know I really those are one of the books. A lot of the books that they made me read, especially at CC, I was like, oh, this is stupid. But the
Oh,
ones
yeah, and
that
also
really
good commentary on Jim Crow laws and racism.
Oh yeah,
That's
even that.
too.
It's a really important book, and I'm glad that books are they're still making us read that, especially that, and also Catcher in the Rye, amazing book in my opinion.
Yeah.
Loved every single page of that.
Also, The Great Gatsby.
I didn't read that one. Yeah,
I could retell it right now.
well,
up to
let's
chapter
not. I don't really
6.
think that the listeners want that.
So the
but-
narrator is Nick Carraway.
You know, freaking Andy Kaufman. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Revolutionary person in meta comedy. He's not alive anymore, but when he was.
Also, he's dead and useless now.
No.
Kaufman.
No. He's amazing. Don't you dare. Oh, I get it because he Kaufman. He's Kaufman. Oh, good one. No, but he had a thing, and everyone thought it was a joke. Like, they went to go, so, like, you know how comedians do stand-up sets. So it was like, see Andy Kaufman live, and then everyone came to see him live, and he was like, all right, I'm going to read The Great Gatsby. Read the entire book. The entire book. Just read it out loud to the fans. There was, like-
that takes a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. He just did it. That was his whole set.
Dude, that's That's like Max Mofo eating his bowl of cereal for his 1 million subs.
Yeah, see, that's like he's literally ripping off Andy Kaufman because he had other things where he was like, this next set is called me ordering ice cream. He would get ice cream, he would eat it, and then he'd be like, thank you. and then there was one where he was just like, this is me ordering steak. He would order the steak, eat the steak on stage. And when he was done, he would be like, thank you. And looking back on it, and there's so many people that are pissed off at him because he's actually a really funny guy, but when he does stuff like that, it's hilarious in theory and like talking about it now. I think that's hilarious that you would just go up there and just eat an ice cream. Like, that's really funny to me. But if I was like an actual audience member, I would be pretty pissed off that I paid to watch a guy eat ice cream.
Yeah, it's funny looking from the outside.
Yeah.
You're like, idiots, you just paid to watch a dude eat ice cream.
Yeah, but if I paid for that, I'll be pretty pissed. And there's this whole thing that's really funny to me is that he did get a little controversial here. He would go to women's wrestling tournaments and just beat all of them. And then, he would just wrestle women and just beat, like, he would just win. And then he would talk shit on other wrestlers, like male wrestlers. And he would be like, look at my wins, I'm 100%. And then he was talking shit on this one really, really good wrestler. And in the video that he made calling him out, he was like, you're just a little dumb hillbilly. Look at my wins. I'm 100%. You're like only 50. And then he punched a woman in the video and like wrestled her in the video that he sent to him. And like when he was like, see, I'm going to do to her what I just did to you. Like he would just go to women's wrestling tournaments and just like participate and just
Sounds
win.
like Eric Andre.
Exactly. He paved the way for Eric Andre types.
Yeah.
And then the guy responded to him. He wrestled him and he almost broke his neck because he pile drived him into the ground.
It makes me think of this one thing where I forgot who went up against him, but there was this guy called Butter Bean. I don't know. It's like a big heavyweight boxer or something, and he doesn't look like he has a lot of muscle. He's almost got like the Danny DeVito build, but like taller and bigger. Yeah. And this one dude was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna mess with him in this like store," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a good boxer," and he gets one hit on Butterbean. Butterbean turns around and the dude is like, Butterbean's like short. He's like 5'5", I think. Yeah. The dude that came up to him was like 6 foot, like almost my height. And Butterbean looks up at him and it clobbers him. He falls directly to the floor and he just gets on top of him. He keeps going for a while. And he stands up. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
But then the guy on the floor, he has like the knocked out like wind. He's like,
that's funny.
And his hand's like,
oh no, that's what I love watching boxing and everything, but that does kind of mess me up when you see guys like completely just like Windows restart, just like get clocked and they're just like on the ground just unconscious, and then they get up and they're like, what day is it?
Windows
like
restart.
I was watching this one, yeah, it really is. It's like a din. Exactly. I was watching this one fight and they always end like, what day is it? Like you always fight on a Saturday, and I think like right. It's always, it's like Saturday, or it's either Saturday or Sunday. And this guy gets up, he's like, what day is it? What day is it? UK, he's like, Tuesday. It's like, oh, he's not good. He's not good. It's so brutal. But, like, I love boxing movies, especially, like, Creed and, like, and Rocky. They're just great movies, in my opinion. And they're just so brutal. And it's crazy that people actually do that. And watching real fights, where, like, I watched this one, I forgot what the boxer's name was, but he did this sweet move where he jabbed past his head, and so he would dodge it, and then he came back with the elbow, like coming back from the punch with the elbow knocks him out. Back of the head.
That is 8-head thinking right there.
It was freaking awesome, but it looked like it hurt so bad because it just.
Because it's an elbow.
Imagine having in your mind being like, oh sweet, I jabbed it, like I blocked it, like I dodged out of the way, and then just kink, done. You're done.
That could give you amnesia.
It could. That's why they're so messed up, man. Even just football players, like, from concussions and everything, are so messed up down the line.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally...
That's why my mom put me in soccer.
Yeah. Bitch-ass sport.
Listen.
Bitch.
Listen,
as
who
sport.
was
Everyone said that they loved our debate on the first episode about
Listen,
this.
during pool basketball?
Yeah.
Who destroyed every
Okay.
hockey player there?
Okay. Well,
I mean, John Paul was the only match for me.
well, that was
That was Friday,
different?
so there was.
we were in a pool. I do
What
not
about, like-
swim well in water? Okay. I'm like Charizard.
Okay, then when we were out there, right? And
Where's there?
you said the thing. It was out like past the bridge thing, on that little tiny island with the dock coming out of it. We were on there, and you said the forbidden word,
Yeah.
and then like Richie said it first, and then you were like, drop him, and then you said it, and I dropped you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think this happened.
Because you got amnesia from me dropping you.
Okay, allegedly this might have happened. Allegedly it might have not happened. I don't know.
Drop him.
Oh wait, I never said I never rated Umbrella Academy.
Then rate it.
That's an easy 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10.
Huh.
Definitely 8. Just a really solid 8 out of 10. That's really late though.
Neat.
Oh wait, I want to go get ready for the new segment. I gotta go
Get-
grab it
get
though.
the- get the
All right,
record.
entertain the people.
I think I'm gonna be reading poetry. The first poem that I'm gonna be reading, best as I can from my memory, is called "The Road Not Taken" by Robert Frost. Two roads divert. Let me restart. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverge from a beaten path. That's all I remember. So, gonna have to skip the poetry section. There's. I don't really know that much poetry. I shouldn't say this because then someone's gonna be upset at me that I don't really enjoy poetry, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He's back, so I can start with my poetry section. Oh, I see who it's from.
I hope they didn't see it because it's gonna give it away.
You're gonna have to censor it.
I will.
If not,
What? What? Why are you looking at me like that?
go on.
Okay. So I had this idea. A lot of people are saying that they wanted us to get more into music since we talk about movies a lot. And so I had this idea that I would talk about my favorite album of like, it would be like of the week. So I have a lot of vinyls.
You can't listen to an album and rate it in a week.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about like albums that I listen to all the time.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to start, and I have a lot of vinyls in my room. So that's how you guys know that I actually like really like this, is that I actually purchased the vinyl. So you know that like I actually really enjoy the music. So let me get the first one.
Take your time, Will.
We don't have a lot of time. Because, I got to do chores around my house. I got to be productive. I'm sorry.
I think I'm gonna leave.
All right, so I want to get into this is Will's album review of the week. Number 1 is Wolf by Tyler, the Creator. The real fans will see that I have the vinyl right here. And for the audio listeners, I am holding the dope-ass vinyl. Look at this,
Dope.
man. The dope, really cool.
The dope as all things that are cool vinyl.
Nice. Good one. Look at this. Pink.
Oh,
It has a
is.
pink vinyl.
It is.
And I can't wait. Oh, real side note right here. I cannot wait until my Igor vinyl comes in, but we'll get into that later. But no, just Tyler, the Creator, is so, in my opinion, so revolutionary. And what he did in this album is so, because from a film aspect, I love storytelling and music. And he kind of did it a little bit in Goblin, but here it is so evident and so cool how he has all these different characters and they all have different personalities. Like, look at this. This is just one page of my notes that I was taking. I was literally taking notes on every single
Wow,
song.
you take notes outside of school.
Yeah. For the real fans, you'll see like my in-depth notes on every single song
Yuck.
that I was doing. I was doing this on the plane because like every single song has its specific character and they all have their separate personalities. Like there's Sam and he's like extremely lonely, in love with the girl that doesn't love him back. There's Tyler, played as Wolf, who's like this newcomer, who's new to the scene and he's learning stuff about it and he's meeting a girl that's falling in love. And then there's that whole clash between Sam and Wolf. There's Haji, he's a part of it. Like, there's this whole just awesome, and the beats are so great. The lyrics are awesome. There's some amazing, like, really fun tracks like Domo 23, and then there's some really, like, personal, like, really obviously, like, deep rooted in his, like, personal life with IFHY and Answer, and it's just such a great album.
Answer. I really like Answer.
It's a really freaking just raw, great song, and it's just his whole album is just so fun to listen to from start to end. I never felt like it was dragging on. It had great pacing all the way throughout, awesome character building, really just made me feel like I was at this camp learning things about new people. And it was, I honestly loved it. I love listening to it. And even, I don't really take notes on a lot of things, but when you see me literally listening to the lyrics, going back, scrubbing back, and listening to, like, the exact thing that he was, like, trying to interpret what he's trying to get at, it's so fun for me. I love doing it. It was a great experience, and now I have, like, a really in-depth, like, analysis basically of his entire album that I might even make a video about it, honestly, because I love it so much. But yeah, should I do it out of 10 or out of 5?
5.
I'll do it out of 5. I give
Actually,
Wolf,
do it out of 17.
I give Tyler the Creator's Wolf, I'm just gonna do it out of 5, a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh.
Like, it's all the way up there. I love it. And I highly recommend that you guys go listen to it and buy the really cool vinyl that it came with. I found the other day, it came with a CD.
You did?
Yeah, I just found it in there. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I guess you
was a
didn't
thing.
look into it enough because you're not a real fan of Tyler's.
The vinyl would never fit back into it. And I was always like, oh, God, why is it not fitting? And then I just reached in one day. I was like, oh, there's a freaking CD in here. That's nice. So now we're going to go into the questions. But
yeah.
I was kind of slacked a little bit today. I forgot to go to Instagram to ask you guys. But I did Snapchat a couple people, and they did give me some responses. So, but for the next episode, 100% check my Instagram. We will be sending out the questions like we usually do. And if you want to get a shout out, just ask a question because it really does help us out. And they're really fun.
And also tell us if you want us to dox you or not.
Yeah. Also, if you don't want to shout out, obviously tell us you don't want to shout out. But we really love the question that you guys give. And we're loving the support that you guys are giving. So thank you so much.
And if you want, you can give us your credit card information, your social security
also
number.
That would be cool too.
Yeah, we can shout you out
We
with that
need
too.
help with the rent payments. So it will definitely help.
Can
So
we get a Patreon going?
maybe. I was actually kind of thinking about that.
With like a $5 pledge, get the podcast early or something.
Yeah.
And then like, as the pledges go higher and higher and higher, we can give them like the unreleased versions of them.
That's what
Like deleted episode 3.
I have
We
bad
must
news
not
about
speak
that.
about
Yeah,
it.
we can't speak about that. Can't tell the viewers about that. But if you guys would actually, there's probably a very, very, very slim chance that like teenagers would want to give their hard-earned money to us.
I mean, like if we have like a $1 a month.
But yeah, if
pledge.
you guys would like to give like a $1 a month thing to just help the podcast out, let us know because we might start a Patreon just to help. Because all this stuff was pretty expensive. Because WB wouldn't let us come into the audio rooms during the summer because it's unsafe and they don't trust us.
Because we're gonna.
Because we're
plant
gonna,
bombs.
yeah, apparently, allegedly.
We're gonna take out all the desks and we're gonna take the roof off to put it on my house.
So first question
And
comes
drink all
from.
the water out of the toilets, but like it's unsafe.
Oh, it's unsafe. You're gonna get sick.
Toilet water's dirty. Don't drink
Please
it.
get out of my house. I don't know you. Why are you drinking from my toilet? Like,
Ladies, if a man offers to wash your back, just say thank you. There's no need for all this. Who are you and how'd you get into my house? Crap. Okay.
wait, real quick before we go into the questions, have you seen Bella Delphine is selling her bath water?
Yeah, it's hard to not. hear
Why?
about that.
Who wants that? Who is actually buying that?
It's. I think that like someone like tested it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I
that
heard
has herpes in it.
No, there's no human DNA, so it's not her
Oh my-
bath water. They must have just put
Oh,
salt in
then-
some water and put it in bottles and shipped it off.
God, why would you do that?
Do you know how much she's making?
I know
from
she's
that?
making a lot. But that's just-
$30 for a cup
Freaking cup.
smaller than this
Yeah,
mug.
that
That is brilliant.
It's. I mean, yeah, but it's kind of degrading. I wouldn't want to be. I mean, if I can make that bank, I would
It's
do
not her
it.
bad. I mean, she's already pretty much like ruined any chance of a further career, like a normal career.
Yeah,
So like, might as well go all the way.
it's true. You might as well just go with it. You might as well see where it goes.
Yeah. And then that one
It's
post
just,
was like, oh, if this gets 1 million likes, I'll make an account on
Yeah,
Oh,
then
it
she
didn't get
just
picked up. And it
trolled
did,
everyone.
and everyone was like, "Oh!"
Because all the freaking
It's so
anime
dumb.
weebs or whatever are like, please, I need that. And then they're also the ones that are buying her bathwater.
Yeah.
But then I was talking
Do
about
you
it
know
with my dad.
Pyrocynical drank her bathwater?
That's gross. That's so
He
bad.
nearly threw up.
That's gross. See, that's gross. I don't want to talk. That's gross.
You
But
know, he didn't even buy it. He DM'd her. And he was like, hey, can I get some bath water? And she was like, yeah, for sure. Don't worry about it. Because he paid her $3,000 to play Minecraft with her, but then she bailed.
oh, she bailed. That's not.
She was like, I
The
don't
fuck
think this is
Delphine?
I don't think this is a smart decision for me. He's like,
That's fucked up.
it's just Minecraft.
It's just Minecraft.
I
No,
think
but
it was originally supposed to be Fortnite, but then she's like, no, I can't.
oh,
He's
that's
like, oh, Minecraft?
Minecraft's way better. But my dad was talking about me. I mean, not talking about me, but talking with me when I told him about this, and he was like, he told me about one painter. He did paint, but one artist that literally sold his shit to a museum, and they put it on display, like to an art gallery. And it was just like, the title was literally just like blanks, like the artist names, shit. It was just out there. So it's like,
You know, like,
what is art? I don't know.
the thing with art is that, like, it's, you know, art is just like fancy people's hype beast kind of thing, you know? Because it's like,
Yeah.
if an artist is like made, like, okay, so to become a good artist and sell paintings for a lot of money, first you actually have to make good art, but then from there on you could make whatever. Like, I think
Yeah.
there was this one painting where, like, it was like an 8x11. It was a normal sized piece of paper. And then, like, there's like a line in the middle. It's white, and the bottom it's blue. On top it's green, and it sold for 1.3 million.
Oh my god.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just,
And it's just 'cause
some
this
of that
artist-
stuff is just lost
It's just
on
that
me.
this specific painter was really famous to
Uh-huh.
begin with.
Yeah.
So then they're like, I want it,
It's such a
even though
like
I
a,
could recreate it on a regular 8x11 piece
it's,
of paper.
it's such a very thin line between like art and then stuff that's just like, in my
Yeah.
opinion, just so dumb.
Yeah, people aren't really buying paintings anymore because it looks nice. Usually, they're buying it because they're
it's like,
oh, this is an original piece by
it's
this
like, it's
person.
challenging the form. It's going against society. It's like freaking cringy Riverdale, where they're like, have you seen that clip of Riverdale where he's like, have you ever seen me without this hat on?
Oh, yeah.
I'm weird. I don't have friends. I don't fit in. That's literally like everyone who buys like a quirky painting. It's so dumb. It's just because they want to be able to be like, they want to just look smart in front of their friends and be like, have it up in their house and just be like, yeah, let's start some conversations about art. You know?
But it's not even like young people. It's like, I think it's like old rich people who have a lot of money and they just spend all this money. Because, like,
No, I think
what-
it's mostly like 20-somethings
What
that
kind
are
of
getting their like
20-something-year-old
studio apartments and they're
what
getting
kind of a 20
not
something
$1.3 million, but they're
But I'm
buying
talking
like
about those ones. I'm talking about those ones.
okay, well then yeah, then
Because
it's
those
just
are
the rich
those people who
that want
are just painting.
that's the
hypebeasts.
rich people that just have money to waste.
I guess, yeah.
So they're like, I'm gonna say I have like a original piece by stupid McFuck. I don't know.
Yo.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. But no. Shoot. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Shoot.
You said something about how, like, there's like these people who just want to spark up conversation.
Oh yeah, no, but there was this one thing where a piece of art sold, so there was just like a blank thing on the wall, like it was just blank. This guy took off his shoes, put his shoes in front of the blank spot on the wall, and then people were all like having conversations about what it meant and taking pictures of it, and it was I think that's so funny, because it's like you can literally just put your shoes in front of a wall at an art gallery, and people will be like, "What did the artist mean by this?"
Isn't that like it's like that one scene from Always Sunny?
I was gonna say
Frank's got
that's
the
so
white
funny,
thing on
and he's like, "Shit." He's like looking at all the paintings. He's like, "Shit, I hate it. Oh my god, beautiful!" And it's just the air conditioner in the
Yeah.
middle of the art gallery. He's like, "Beautiful, I love it. Says so much." And she's like, "The air conditioner?" He's like, "Yes." And he dresses up. He dresses up as the artist. I think my dad was telling me he dressed up as went after the look of the artist that did the thing with the shit.
I was gonna say he looked like
With
a
the bowl
white
cut
hair
and
Edna.
everything.
I was gonna say he looked like a white hair Edna
Edna mode. Yeah, exactly.
because they're both
It
short.
got so silent. Danny DeVito. What a guy.
Danny DeVito.
All right, but now you want to get in some questions
Yeah.
before we wrap it up? All right.
We were supposed to do this like 30 minutes ago or something like that.
Well, literally, Gretchen Dickinson asked about Spider-Man Homecoming.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
She goes WB. Well, we already talked about that, Gretchen, so sorry.
We did?
Yeah.
I thought. Never mind.
Oh my God. Well, we ended up not really getting anything. Thank you to everyone. I tried to send out to get people to ask questions, but apparently no one has any questions on their mind because everyone's just like, "You want me to come up with a question?" Well, thank you for Gretchen, and also, well, we got one. Taylor. Wait, do you know Taylor Maines?
Yeah, Taylor Creek.
Well, I call her Taylor Maines, but do you know what her real last name is? It's not Maines. It's pronounced Manus. No,
Creek.
no, shut up. No one's going to get that joke. It's a dumb inside joke.
Patrick's gonna get that joke.
Yeah, Patrick. Oh, shout out to Patrick if you're listening right now, because that's the only person in the entire world that will understand that joke.
He would never listen this far into a podcast.
Yeah, it's true. He's not a real fan.
No, it's just that his attention span is short.
It's
like
like
mine.
the one of a gerbil, probably.
Like mine.
Like mine. What are we talking about? No, but Taylor Maines asked. I can't say it like that. Taylor Maines asked, "What's our least favorite pizza topping?" This is a perfect question to end it at.
I mean, like, I'm really picky. So,
The world is dying to know. You need to answer this.
oh, man. I mean, like, I don't like mushrooms.
Okay.
But, like, I've never really, I mean, like, I've had, like, a small bit of them on pizza because it was on the one next to it got cut.
Yeah.
It wasn't really any different. I didn't really care for it.
Then why is that your least favorite?
No, I'm not, I didn't say it was my least
Oh, I'm
favorite.
sorry. I'm
building
jumping
it.
ahead. I'm sorry.
I do enjoy olives, not on pizza really though. But those two things, they go well with the idea of pizza, where it's like the original idea of pizza is like it's like it's a fire, like a
You got this,
like
buddy.
they
I
have
believe
like
in you.
the fire stove.
You mean
they
like a
got, like,
brick
the
oven
pan-
pizza?
Yeah, like those.
Yeah.
Like it's that's the idea, and it's supposed to be like it's supposed to have like a little bit of char on the
Yeah.
stuff, but then like they went to like regular ovens and everything, like convection ovens, and that's
Conventional.
fine. Convection.
Conventional. It's a conventional oven, not a convection oven.
Convection oven.
The fuck is a convention oven?
It's
No,
like
a convection oven?
Convection oven is where it all heats up at the same pace.
No, I don't. I'm challenging on that. I don't think that's right.
I'm pretty sure it's right.
Oh shit, we don't have Jamie behind the camera. Where's Lewis at? I mean, where's our Jamie, huh? We need fact check on this. I'm too lazy to look at my phone, so I'm just gonna believe I'm right.
I want to believe I'm right.
No, this is what's wrong with America.
Is it convection or conventional? Who really knows?
Who really knows?
Wake
the
up,
truth?
America! But the thing is that I think it should be like a hearty meal. It's supposed to be like savory.
Oh my god, just what's your least favorite topic?
Anything sweet, mainly pineapple.
Fuck pineapple. Sorry, Mom, but fuck pineapple on pizza.
Freak pineapple.
Freak pineapple. I hate it.
Pineapple can lick the blood off of my toes.
I'm gonna unpopular opinion right here. Every single topping that isn't meat, I do not like it. They are all my least favorite. If it is not bacon, sausage, chicken, or pepperoni,
ham.
or ham, any type of
Steak.
meat, steak even, that sounds good. If it's anything other than that, I will not eat it because I'm that picky of an eater. My diet consists of meat and bread and pasta with cheese.
My poop is very hard, but it tastes good.
What? Your poop tastes good?
No, the food tastes good.
You said my poop is very hard, but it tastes good. Someone quote that, please. Take this out of context. Yeah, I got you now. I'm sorry. Was that too far? I'm sorry.
I'm buffering.
You're buffering. You're trying to come up with a rebuttal, but you can't.
No, I'm not coming up with a rebuttal. I'm just sitting here in silence, sulking now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's episode 3, guys. See you in the next episode.
You know what? Actually, I do like eating poop.